Hello, my beautiful. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. Welcome back. Welcome home to those returning. And if you're new, just jump in. This is a live, and I have a live audience as well. Interactive, right? And we're going to be talking about Jay Slater case. There's some big issues for me, and I have a lot of questions. So, I don't even know where to start. Let's say hello to a few people. Now, if you're on replay, just fast forward 30 seconds while I do a little meet and greet. Say hello to my beautiful mods. Hi, Jennyville, who is in the hospital with her dad, so sending him healing prayers. I'm so glad to hear he's recovering and didn't have a stroke. Hi, Rachel, not that Rach. Hi, Debbie Garzardo, Jennifer Swain, and Az. Oh my gosh, all our mods in one house at one time. We are so blessed. Hey, Lisa, Ocean Deep 24. I'm just grabbing random names. Marion, there's over 100 of you here, so I will just say hello to everyone. Steve the Cockney, hello, hello. And in the Jay Slater case, I went on last night on my second channel, which is called 1111 Crime Story. And it's up late with Mama D. I've got my PJs on. We do low light setting. We just slow everything down. I was on there 4.5 minutes, and we got hit by a windstorm. Took out all our phones, our internet, everything. We've got trees down all over. My place was spared. There was no harm came to anybody. It's just property damage. A couple barns blew over, but it hit us like instantaneous, and it knocked me offline. But what I was saying, I'm going to take the opportunity to kind of reiterate a little bit of where I was going with it. So, hi, M Cave Dweller. Good to see you, and welcome to our channel. Hi, Carrie Glenn. The big thing with the true crime, Jay Slater case, Liam Payne case, Summer Wells case, Kylie Rodney case, the Idaho 4 case, any case we work on, there's going to be those that are involved in trying to control the narrative, and there are going to be the opposing team, which is trying to take and sort out all the lies and misinformation to get to the truth. So you're going to have the two opposing sides. We all know this. It's true crime. Now, introduce a wild card, which I'll call the Joker. And that is an anonymous source. That's the Joker card, because you don't know if you can trust it. But what if they're right? What if they're not right? Who are they? They're anonymous. So it gives the killer a card to play, right? It gives somebody that could be nefarious in the case that wants to get themselves out of the story a free get out of jail card. So something I want to just bring up is, like, when I was working very hard in the Sebastian Rogers case, I got a hit, if you will. I'm going through, I paid, see, that's what I do sometimes. I paid for background reports, which you cannot share publicly at all. But in paying for it, I was able to connect to a person that showed me the aunt's name of Sebastian Rogers. I then tracked that down. Now, keep in mind, Sebastian Rogers is autistic, okay? Very important, special needy child, and still missing to this day. So behind the scenes, I tracked down the name of the aunt, which led me to a autistic school in North Carolina. Well, right in amongst those areas where we had at the same time a sighting of the child that was going all over the internet, turned out not to be him. Okay, but feel me, behind the scenes, I've now connected it to this school, if you will. Here's how I handled it. I wasn't thinking about my channel. I was thinking about Sebastian. And if I did find out something from this school, if I called them, what was I going to give the police? I needed to have proof. And so I called that school and I told them, I am a reporter. I have a YouTube channel. I'm a journalist and I'm going to be recording this call just so you know, and I will be sharing it. And they were like, okay. So right there, I had whatever I needed to take it to the police to actually help the case. Now, I kept it all quiet. I went through, I filed my report, I attached everything to the TBI, and then it was a week and a half before we learned that that was the same name as the individual, and there was a lot of quinky dinks about the age and everything, but it was two different people unaffiliated with Sebastian Rogers, and my link had not panned out. I was praying that he was there safe and sound, that a family member was hiding him. It didn't work. But it was in that you can tell when somebody wants to have something tangible to hand over for proof, right? So you have to look at it and go, why doesn't this person ever release messages that they have with Lucy or Brad or Rachel or all this? And then they do a lot of like, just take me to court if you want to see it. Just take me to court if you want to see it. Just take me to court. Well, calm down. Nobody is asking you to go to court. We're simply asking you to show us the receipts for everything that you've been saying. You've mentioned you want out of the case. You want away from Jay Slater's case. That's no problem. We don't want anybody working on it that don't want to work on it. But before you exit, can you drop all your proof so that we can work through it? There might be things in those messages that you yourself didn't see. We have a lot of people still working the Jay Slater case. We would like to have a chance to view it ourselves and see if there's more to it than you saw. So it's about laying it down, like bring in the tangible receipt. You say you got it, provide it. That's big. Next, if you're going through and doing an investigation and you're talking to this person who's talking to that person who's talking to a reporter, we now have a telephone game. And so we have to take everything with a grain of salt, pinch of salt, because we don't really know in the end who the hell is giving that reporter the information even. You see? So it gets really convoluted and it starts getting the case so muddy that nobody can keep up. Hi, MCB. You say, hi, Mama D. Love watching your lives. Justice for Jay. Thank you for the snooper chat as well. Thank you, my love. I appreciate that. Debbie Gazzardo, one of our beautiful mods, also is a starlight. Of a lot of beautiful starlights. We have a member special coming up at the end of this week on, I believe it's Saturday night. I better write that down to check if it was Sunday or Saturday. And I'll start sharing more about it as we get closer. Hey, Lou Chambers, Sherry Noble, Mama D, have you seen the footage on someone hiding in the sun loungers on the beach and people looking for them? Yes, I have. And unfortunately, that could be from any time for me. There's no time stamp. So I was like, makes you wonder, but. So if you have proof, show us, says Laura. Good evening, TCB01. Judith Trake says, well done, Mama D. That's just what I thought. Where's the proof? So if a reporter is not willing to provide their sources, they're usually not going to be published in the sense that they'll say, sources say, and then later we find out it's a bunch of shit. Rubbish, Lampane. Sources say that he convulsed in the lobby. Where's your proof? Lampane case, I'm going to stay on that a minute. Sources say he smashed his laptop and the TV in his room and trashed it. Okay, well, now your sources prove to be all wrong, even though you're all reporters, because those are photo snaps or pictures that are years old, allegedly, that had nothing to do with the hotel room. And for those of you in the Jay Slater case that like to come on my channel and go, why would a place like Papagayo's hide the death of a 19-year-old boy? Well, let me ask you this. Why would such a notorious hotel, such a famous hotel, hide the truth about their guests being red-rummed in his room? I don't have the answer for you guys. I just know it's happening. And it's really happening. So I got to thinking, you know, here's the deal. How hard would it be to grab your list of 5,000 people as part of the NRG people, right? Like you knew that these 500 attended this part of the rave and that part. You knew all 5,000 people. You've got their name. You got their address. They got a registration packet. How hard is it to be? So I called a lawyer. I said to my lawyer, what do you do? How could this work? And I told him, I said, I'm working, he knows I do true crime. So I did him a favor actually one time in a case, and he has been there for me every once in a great while, but I use it sparing. And I said to him, so, I'm sorry, let me grab a drink. Forgive me, please. I said to him, so 5,000 people register and get their paperwork, get their bracelets, get their whatever, and fly over to this location or however they got there. And they all attend this rave. And an event happens where a boy ends up DOA, right? And it's mysterious. Like we can't hear about it. Nobody's talking about it. There's nobody coming out from Xanadu, that party, or Papagayo. Nobody is talking. Not a word out of 5,000 guests. And he said, can I just save you some time? I said, yeah. And he said, he said, my best guess is got a letter of cease and desist, of confidentiality letter. So in other words, they were told they probably received communication that says, this is an open investigation. And that made sense to me. And he said, and therefore they would get a little letter that says, you know, do not publish or reveal or speak about anything to avoid contaminating the investigation. Well, I don't know how he said it, but you know what I mean. I got what he was saying. It was a letter. And he said, literally, if they have their addresses and they've all registered, they all got it. That's his opinion. And he's a professional. I'm like, so they got a legal letter. I said, you have no idea how much sense that makes, because that entire island is under like a suppression of, we're not going to talk about it. He goes, oh, well then I'd bet highly, most likely they did. I'm like, okay, all right. So then I got to thinking about, that would provide a lot of leeway to now build your own damn narrative, including flipping the PDF date. So we have that NRG PDF that tells us the itinerary, right? It's all laid out for us. I'm wondering, was that updated to flip the dates? I don't know about you, but I personally have not seen Jay Slater, not one picture from Saturday, allegedly, which was Xanadu. Big, huge, huge venue. The biggest of them all. And I thought to myself, now I'm not one that does a rave at all. I was new to this whole concept. But when they saved their big, like think of the 4th of July and you got fireworks. They had the grand finale. So that's the last thing in your mind and you can't believe how incredible it is and you come back. Why wouldn't Xanadu, which was a hell of a lot, huge venue, be the last night and Papagayo be the second night? And all it would take basically is the letters the lawyer talked about so that nobody could make the correction and be like, no, it was the day before. But yet we have this guy and
people wanting to get involved, get their names in there.
Can you ask him about the Airbnb thing?
that
People are
says the
asking in
day
the
before.
comments, like, is
I don't
that
think
true?
he's
Was
talking
he up
about
there?
the day
What?
before.
Day before. It was day before because they accessed his phone.
It was the day before he was at the B&B.
Day before.
The day before he was at the B&B. No. The guy would have no idea that anything about the B&B. But if he was physically there, he would be saying, no. This all happened at Papagayo's the day before, maybe. Maybe. I'm just guessing. Maybe that's what he's saying. So if we just take that PDF and re-upload it where the itinerary days are flipped, we then can understand why on Sunday we've got no BDO, right? No coffee smack. Because that could have happened the day before. We don't know. But I did message Allie Harris from Streamline Entertainments with Marvin. And I point blank asked her, I said, did you speak to the director of Papagayo? And did he tell you that Papagayo closed early on Saturday? Yes or no? And I put it just like that. And she said, yes. He didn't give me a time, but he did say it closed early on Saturday. And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait a minute. This is starting to make a hell of a lot of sense. We got Lucy. Well, I was tired and I wanted to go home early alone. Okay. Right? Bloody hell. That's starting to make sense. Brad's cutting out early because he just got out of the rave himself. Now it's making sense why this is all happening around 2 o'clock. And it puts you out walking out the door of Papagayo's right where there's some sort of a whatever going on allegedly. Some, beating on the ears there. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. If Papagayo's had to close early because someone got ill, that's the story they fed to everybody. But in reality, someone may have hit the floor. Like more than ill. You feel me? Now, I'm not going to sit here and answer to any of you why a nightclub that hosts to a bunch of very young adults that are all on rugs, I say all, not all, but we do know that's a large part of the rave environment, would want to be investigated. That's not my business. I don't care why they don't want to be investigated. I'm not going to justify it. But apparently they don't want to be because you see that it's a we ain't talking to nobody kind of thing. And so if Papagayo happened the day before on Saturday, it would explain then, because we're transfixing this, that theoretically, and that's all this is theory, asking questions, throwing spaghetti at the wall, and seeing if it sticks, right? If Xanadu then was on Sunday, yeah, we got nothing. I don't see Jay there. Anybody see him there? Now, what was interesting is I told you I messaged Allie, but I wasn't going to say it that way. My normal speech was I was going to say I talked to Allie. But I didn't talk to Allie. But in my mind, I had talked to Allie. So, did Jay's mom get messages? Or was it all on Saturday night? Had the pool party and Papagayo's actually happened on Saturday and then followed by Xanadu. That would make so much sense. He comes back from the pool party on Saturday. He tells her his shoulders are burnt. He's going to go for the last night of the rave. Maybe he said, I'm going out, and he never even said last night. She may have put that in there thinking that. I don't know. Something's weird about the way that's said. And could she have actually just got messages on Sunday and been thinking to herself that she was talking to Jay? Because at that point, you wouldn't think of who else would you be talking to other than your son with his phone? Who else would have his phone at that point? But yet she does end up saying she wondered if somebody else had his phone. She states that Jay didn't even look conscious in that one picture. And does it tie in with this whole we just got kicked out of there really was everybody got kicked out of Papagayos. You feel me? Let's see what you guys are thinking. Okay, let's go back up and see what's going on. Cat Glasgow. Let me get chat on the board, you guys. Only time he had diff on was walking along street with Brad, white t-shirt, and going to airport, black one. I don't know where they were going. But that is true. That is true. Mariah, outside, as in outside, would make sense why they say outside AM, then a lot, just a thought. Let me go back up to Mariah. I can't find her. Xanadu was outside. That is true. Xanadu was completely outside. And that's how I'm like, okay, where are all the shots of Jay at Xanadu? I got nothing. I have nothing. Why? But yet, we got videos from Papagayo. So then, this is what made me really, because I always like to dig as deep as I can into a theory. Then this hit me. I'm missing something. You're missing something from Papagayo. Where is one video after 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or 4 o'clock? Because that rave allegedly went till 4 a.m., right? But where are the DJs that played at that time at 3 a.m. at Papagayo? Where are they? Anybody? I hear crickets. So let's listen to this guy and not think of the Airbnb the day before, because he's only half listening to all these people talk at once. It's before the Airbnb. I think he's talking about the day before was Papagayo. Now, if they're going to suppress the entire story to the entire world, how hard would it be to simply change up a PDF and make Sunday be Saturday and Saturday be Sunday? You've already sent out your do not talk about this letters, right? Cease and desist. You know, non-discrimination law or what did he call it? Where you can't talk about it. I had to sign one. Non-disclosure. That's what he said. Non-disclosure, I think. I'll have to get him to write it down. But yeah. But it makes more sense if things are out of order for me. I know that sounds crazy, but it starts to make sense with this whole, it was 3 days where Lucy had allegedly told her mom, but Jay's mom didn't know. Listen, Debbie knew at 2 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday the 18th. If Lucy is trying to tell us through Haley, which who knows, I don't see anything to say this, but let's go with it for a minute, that if we go back 3 days from Tuesday, that puts us on Saturday night, right? Because you take away Tuesday, Monday, and Sunday. You take the 3 days away. That puts me on Saturday. And then the puzzle piece fits that Debbie would not know for 3 days. So where's the rest of the set at Papagayo? And like I said, I messaged Allie and she messaged me back a very clear answer. She did speak to the director of Papagayos. She did get an answer that they closed early on Saturday the 16th. I'm sorry. I almost screwed it up. Saturday the 15th of June early. But they wouldn't give a time slot or they didn't. So that fits awful tidy. That fits awful tidy. Let's listen to this dude a little bit more. I know you've heard it a billion times. Probably in your sleep you could hear it, but let's hear
It was day before because they accessed his phone.
It was the day before he was at the B&B.
Day before.
See, it's the other guy that's filling. It was the day before that he was at the B&B. That isn't what the witness said.
It's all you can't see time and date. It's a Snapchat done. There's nothing to prove it.
Is he talking about the AP watch? It's a Snapchat done. There's nothing to prove it. See, it's the day before, I think.
The day he went missing, he got killed off.
It's the day he went and the day he was
I'll tell you
killed.
what, you can tell Laura now, because I said to her, you research, and she texted me probably 11 o'clock, well, it's 11 o'clock English time, 12 o'clock here.
Zoe says there is footage of Jay and Brandon and Lucy dancing, possibly being filmed by Brad at an event. Not sure it was Xanadu. Can I find it and email details to you, Mama D? Yes. That would be great. I will definitely show it. Right, Jay Bird's been saying it a long time, but it's the day before. I agree that's what you've been telling me. And I'm not saying that is what happened. I'm never telling you what happened. I'm never coming out and going, here's how it works. Here's how it is. I'm always saying, could it be? Because I'm trying to find out just like you. Nisi says outside means in location have a good time and also can mean bringing too much attention to yourself. Outside can mean that you're not in prison. So keep that in mind when you're on the outside, unless you want to go back in prison. And so that's why you can get somebody saying to Rocky when he's blowing the narrative and about to give away the fact that you might be lying. You might be like, outside, dude. Outside. It can mean a lot of different things. And I think it means different things to everybody. MCB42, my girls are 25, 16, 14, and my son is 12. I would be going crazy for the truth. Whatever it takes, I feel sorry for Jay's mom, dad, and brother. So do I. Well, Jay Bird, you're waiting for the toxicology report. I think you're going to be waiting forever. I don't think we're ever going to get it. Ophelia was in on the decoy. Okay. So, if it turns out that that is a what do you call that, interviewer that filmed Jay, what if that turns out to be one of the DJ's PR guys, right? That would mean employee. If we're talking about the other witness of Jay, okay, we got a waitress that works for the place, employed by the place. All right, so there you go. Then we have Ophelia, employed by a place, right? So the only information being given to us in the Jay Slater case is literally being chosen and selected to be given to us. This is what you're going to get. This. And the reason is this. So when this guy that allegedly talks about Jay...
Everybody's making it out to be so much more than it is, right?
Okay.
Him? Listen to what he's saying. The only reason he's filming Jay is to show the condition he's in. Why would you film that? If you're concerned about someone, go get them help. Right?
So, the DJ had just changed at the time because it was 1 a.m.
I don't believe it's 1 a.m. But I think it's more like black traffic is done and it's midnight and it's going to switch for 1 a.m. So it's going to be the set from midnight to 1.
So I just started recording just to be, just to record the drop and stuff like that. But
Okay, so why weren't you showing the drop? Which is the screen that they do all the fantastic stuff on. Do any of you remember in any of his footage seeing the drop itself? He didn't film that. So that's weird that that's the only reason he's filming, but he didn't film it.
obviously the video was quite long. Now I was scrolling through my videos from my holiday and just found this out of nowhere.
He was scrolling through the videos from his holiday and he just found this.
And it was like the other night I found it. So I posted the original video. It's my video. I have it on my phone. There's nothing with this video. You can't hear anything anyone's saying.
I've already proved to you that you can hear it. You can hear somebody saying, give it back. Give it effing back.
It's too loud. So obviously I'm Scottish. My pals are Scottish. There's people chatting wee bits, saying wee things. All right? So there's there's a bag. He's dropped a bag. He's picked it up. He dropped his T-shirt and he picked his T-shirt up.
How does he know that in all that movement that Jay didn't drop his bag? How closely was he watching? Because there's a lot of people moving around. How could you come out and basically say it as a fact? There's none of that. There's no Jay dropped his bag. How do you know that unless you were watching him? And yeah, you could go ahead and replay the video, but the video follows Jay. Like Jay, 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 Jay. It's not about the drop.
That's all he dropped. He's standing with people, and he's obviously in a very terrible state. To me, it looked like he was on pills, all right, because obviously I've been going to these things for years, so I know what people look like when they're in a state. So he was just like all over the place, but though he only happened to be in the video. I wasn't recording him, I was recording the whole crowd, and I just found the video of him in it. There's nothing more to this video apart from him just being in it coincidentally. Now you need to remember, at the time Jay wasn't missing when I recorded that video, alright, so now everyone is focusing on him because he was there. So everyone's like, oh, why was he recording him, all this, all that. No, you're looking for Jay because now he's missing, but at the time he wasn't. So I wasn't recording Jay. He just happened to be missing. He happened to.
If this was one of my kids, I would just be like, stop. Because I know you're lying. You can't get off the first sentence that you weren't recording Jay. You've been telling me for literally 1 minute and 30 seconds that you were not filming Jay. You're stumbling over it.
Be missing out, but he just happened to be in the video. There's nothing more to it. There's no chatter about bags. There's nothing about Lucy being there. There's nothing about drugs. None of that. There is absolutely.
How in the hell does he know that it has nothing to do with Ruggs and Jay? I thought he did not know Jay and wanted as far away from Jay as possible.
Nothing more to that video than the condition that he was in. That is the only thing I uploaded it for. To show it was 1 a.m. and it was to show that's the condition that he was in. That was the state he was in at 1 a.m. So
that was the condition he was in. That was the condition he was in. That was the state he was in.
He could have been like that for another sort of 6-7 hours. If he's started to take more stuff. Now, we don't know Jay. I'm 23. I don't know Jay. Never seen the boy in my life. Scottish. Couldn't stay further away from him. We don't know them. Yeah. None of my pals know them either. So everybody in that video you can see that's close to me is absolutely nothing to do with it.
To do with it. Has nothing to do with it. What do you mean by that? To do with it. Hey, HF, did you get the video of this guy I sent? Not sure. I had no way to check email. I had no phone, no luxury. We had a hell of a windstorm. Nisi says, so which girls were he with this guy? He didn't tell us which were his pals. Mariah says, when he said guy in black t-shirt, Jay was startled by a guy in a black t-shirt. Brandon's t-shirt was black with white patterns. So what is... Oh, thank you, Az. What does he mean he has nothing to do with it? That's weird to say if a kid is missing. We had nothing to do with it.
Got the boy in the black t-shirt that's with him. He's the only one that's with Jay. No one else is. True. It is just the two of them. He puts his arm around them. He speaks to him. He handed Jay a bottle of water. That's the only other thing. And then Jay dropped his t-shirt. There's no thing.
Okay, yeah.
About drugs or bags or anything like that.
Because he knows Jay so good. He knows the whole Jay story. He knows there's nothing to do with Ruggs. There's nothing to do with the bag. There's nothing about it. Just Jay is off his face. That's it. Nobody was there filming him. He just was off his face. He just happened to be filming him because of the condition he was in. There was no rugs. That's it. And they had nothing to do with it.
It's totally blown out of proportion. It was just to show the condition he was in. That's
just to show the condition he's in for the 15th mother frickin' time.
That's all that video is.
Ugh. That may be the last time I can ever play that video because I almost get sick listening to it. Baban says, I think this is just the distraction DJs. So he says he was recording the drop when the DJ changed at 11 p.m., but then says this is state Jay was in at 1 a.m. Great question, Mark. How do you know Lucy? Right, Pauline sounds like he knows a bit more. So, somebody else that I feel I would love to talk to, we're going to jump over just for a minute or two. Look at that. Remember in the video where Jay leans over and talks to the bucket hat guy? I just want to show you that. It's a better picture. So, was Jay, do we have pictures of Jay at Xanadu anywhere? We need pictures of every single event of Jay at them. Because if we're missing everything from Saturday and there is no Jay footage, then they could have easily re-uploaded that PDF with a simple click of the button. I could have done it for them. I mean, I know how. You know what I'm saying? It's a very simple. And that itinerary gets flipped and is put out of order. And if there's a cease and desist, don't talk to every registered person because of an investigation ongoing, nobody can say anything to make the correction. And, oh, that was the other thing. The lawyer, I said to him, well, if there's a cease and desist order and they're not allowed to talk about it, would that interfere with them promoting that they have that on their resume? He said, absolutely. It would squelch that they had been there until the investigation was over. And I said, so it could remove itinerary from, like, you know, Ticketmasters and stuff to say, look, he was at this place and da-da-da. He said, yes, that's what it's for, is to suppress the entire, you were even part of it until the investigation's done. And I'm like, okay, all right. Kelly Marie says, I've just seen footage from Xanadu on Saturday with Jay on it. All right, Kelly, send it to me, and I'll share it with everyone, because I'm not saying it's not out there, but I looked and looked and looked, and I couldn't find it. Lisa Soul 11 says, just to show the condition he was in. So they had evidence he was there and was totally wasted before he went missing. Well, he's saying he didn't find the evidence until much later, but yeah. Technically, yeah. Things had to be done in the right way, and we need to keep the right focus. Like his closed days events, the DJs didn't cover this. We have, you know what I mean, right? Hey, Kintish Tina. Momos may not have been about, but if you've been to these clubs, you are so used to seeing people off their face or ill or whatever, it wouldn't be something to record, in her opinion. Mark agrees with you, Tina. Hey, Bigna. Sorry, going back to Pink Panther. I know off the subject, but watched a video today. Was anyone aware that it's organized jewelry thief in Dubai, Paris, and more? Links with the watches, methinks. I brought that up, every video about organized little Pink Panthers, right? Teresa, did Jay meet Isabel P. on Sunday night? I have no idea what this is about. Like the clip on TT says Sunday, 8:35 p.m. He had the green top on. I don't know. Thank you, Kintish. Kathleen says, I can't find Kathleen. It's too far back. I can't see Kathleen. There she is. If his phone was cleared, red flag, and by who? How do we know if his phone was cleared? His mom said that she wished he'd taken more photographs. But you can get all that off the cloud. So I don't know if they actually ever found Jay's phone. His cousin Isabel Price. Is that proven that that is his cousin? I mean, I'm just asking because I've never heard about it. Missy Electric Paramedic. Oh, so they skipped Xanadu. Interesting, but even so, he went missing Sunday night, right? They're saying okay, the official narrative is Jay didn't go missing until Monday morning. That's the official narrative. Yes, the video of Jay in Santa Cruz. Cornish True Crime. All right, I'm going to look it up because I couldn't find anything. And I want to see. I'm going. I have never seen anything. I get thousands of emails, so why wouldn't they have showed that? Okay, they've got one, but that's not Jay, not even close. I'll show it to you. Let me grab a picture of it. They're saying this is him with Horse Girl and all that. Let me get it for you. I got to open up PowerPoint again. And we'll just throw it on this one. Think that's Jay? Not even close. And that's the one at Xanadu. Booting off with Horse Girl that everybody's saying is Jay. It's not. Laura says, I feel Jay went missing Saturday, in my opinion. And you guys, I mean, if we can get a bunch of proof that Jay actually is at Xanadu, then great. I'm just asking because why would Papagayo say they closed on the 15th early, and then all the Brat Packs say they left early from Papagayo's the next night, right? We don't seem to have anything. Right, Cornish True Crime. No, not Jay. Noble showed video earlier. Jay definitely there. Papagayo's on the 16th. You're not getting it, Baban. You're not getting what I'm saying at all. Sorry, you're just not getting what I'm saying. I'm saying the NRG would have had the entire Papagayo event happen on the 15th instead. And so all the footage we're seeing would be from the 15th at Papagayo. That's what I'm saying. I love Noble. I'm on it. Yeah, why would they want Jay's clothes? I don't know. That's really, really weird. So see what I'm saying? That's not Jay. Could this be Jay at the festival and at Xanadu? No. With Horse Girl? No. I want to listen to this. I just, I'm trying to, I've never dieted in my life, and you can tell I'm chunky. I got my little baby fat. So I thought if I listened to Luggy and Chris talk every day at about lunchtime, I should be able to lose some weight.
Insinuating that 4 very fit people could have carried Jay there and slung him down a fucking ravine.
Andrea Stewart, there is stuff that we know that we are not discussing just yet.
Luggy, no one carried Jay down there.
No, that's right. It's nothing to do with anyone being carried down there. That's the thing is, right? They can hang on it basically because I don't mean hang with a rope. What I mean is you can wait on it because we can't tell you. We can't tell you what we got to tell you until we're ready to tell you. But there are things that have happened over there which are absolutely ridiculous that we haven't told you yet. Basically, there are things.
Right. Looky, stop there, mate. It's basically insinuating that
And that's all there was. They quit talking. Absolutely ridiculous. What was so absolutely ridiculous? Hey, Paperclip. You say, that's what I'm asking. So I have some more to show you. All right, you guys. I don't normally cover this. Is this Jay Slater? OK Joe says this is Jay Slater. I got mad at OK Joe and I point blank said, quit showing me the back of somebody's head. I want to see the front of his face. All right, I'm not saying he's answering me because a lot of people said that, but he's like, okay. He says, oh, and by the way, I listened to Luggy talk for about 10 minutes and he says okay all the time. Like, it's annoying. He's like, blah, 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 okay? Blah, 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 okay? Luggy does that. Good evening, my friends. I am trying to zoom out of this, okay? Won't let me post original, okay? It keeps getting reported, okay? I don't know the date, okay? We'll find out, my friends. God bless you. I'm just showing you stuff because I think it's weird. David Mathis says not him. Bill says, nope, not Jay. Debbie Fox says, nope, that's not Jay. I know Sluggy days okay. Sluggy says okay a lot. NATO. That guy Mama played the audio of is your fella. He said on the video of Walking the Ravine, he's in there, the same guys. And aren't you his girlfriend? What? I don't know what that just said. His hair is shaved all the same. Well, somebody being held captive, their hair could be all different. We don't know about hair. But it's not Jay, is it? So, why would we believe anything else that the dude is sharing, right? Now, let's jump over to this, y'all. Yesterday's video. OMG, look. And then day before yesterday, I showed you the video that now everybody is calling the funeral photo. Photo, not video. I have a question for you. Somebody said that this is not down the rabbit hole guy. Yeah, it is. Same dude. Okay, so just that one person that posted that to me that I didn't even know what I was talking about because that wasn't the down the rabbit hole guy. Yeah, that's down the rapids. All right, next, let's look at Brad. Let's take this and this is from the funeral. How's he dressed? He also has completely different haircut, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. And his hair is lighter. Okay? But that's my opinion. But the shirt isn't. So let me ask you something. If you're going to a funeral, okay, are you going to wear that shirt, Ego Boss, when your friend got killed? You going to wear that shirt to a funeral? I'm not saying it's not to the funeral. I'm just saying, you sure on that? Because this could have been taken a long time ago. Remember, Brad and Rach and Down the Rapids were all in Tenerife at the same time. It's highly likely that Rachel wore the same outfit twice. We all do that, okay? But this is Bradley at the funeral. I don't know when this was, but why's he got on the boss shirt? Paulo says, no, he got changed. So I went and I watched the whole after thing, the whole in the tent where they're raving and all that. And Brad didn't even show up to that. So when is this taken? Well, obviously. Nina says, I wouldn't. Samar says, I think you wore the boss top at the after party. Not that I could see. I could be wrong. But I just don't think so. I think this was taken back in Tenerife. I really do. I could be completely wrong. But I find it strange. Now, I'm going to go over to something else. Where is it? Okay. I continue to follow up on my lead because if I'm right or wrong, I want to know. One way or another. Doesn't matter to me. I just want the truth. And I got to thinking. If Black Traffic, in my theory, got his watch lifted, then does he still have his watch? And he did wear his watch out to Papagayo. Boom, boom, boom. Here's the video.
Not going down. I'm here with Black Traffic. I was about to...
Let me speed it up. Right in here. You can see he's got something. Watch his arm. The guy in the black vest here. There it went. There it went. See his watch? All right. Okay. I got it. He wore his watch, his Rolex, to the club that night. There it is. I was able to get a good picture of it. I was able to blow it up. I even got a better picture of it and blew it up. Same watch. Now, I want to show you what else I found out. So then the question would be, the follow-up question is, does he have his watch after that date? Like in future photo shoots, does he still have his watch? Right? Excuse me. And yes, BT maintained his watch. Right here's the photo shot I got. Let me get this off here. This is Black Traffic with a friend. You can see down here it's July 21st after Papagayo would have taken place. Right there. I've got the date stamp. I've got the receipts, right? So indeed, I then was able to blow it up and do some true comparison, and it is identical watch. Identical watch. So either he never got his watch lifted, which is highly possible, or he got his watch back. Okay? So I wanted to make that very well known that it may not be BT at all. He has his watch, and I follow up on my own work just to make sure that I stay on that truth path. I want to make sure but I bring receipts to the table. It's all about being honest. As says Mama D, thank you so much for all your time and hard work for Jay, and thank you for this loving 1111 family on the same mission. Aww. Thank you for the $50 snooper chat, as your words mean more than the money, but thank you. I mean, I appreciate the donation greatly. It helps me out and lets me do my job here. But at the same time, I thank you so very much for your kind words. Electric Paramedic says BLK has a watch who looks more like the one that supposedly was taken, in my opinion. Thank you for sharing. B. Mondo, also the watch was stolen off a Burley East European in the police report filed that night and passed on to local press. Now, we do not know that. B. Mondo, I love you, but There is not anything that I'm aware of that says a police report was ever filed. We don't know that. Maybe you do. I've never heard it. I could be wrong, though. Hi, Gail. Hello. Laura, DTR, did attend the funeral. Correct. Well, I knew he was at the funeral. Mama, that's not it. I've emailed you the video to you. Okay, Kelly, thank you. I'll check it and we'll do a follow-up. I don't know if we have time. We don't have time today for me to jump on there. I'm not sure what that meant. Hello, HF, and welcome to our channel. Was Lucky there to make sure no one talked? I think he fancies himself as a hitman. Oh, my golly. Let's go back to our opening. Let me get the PowerPoint down. Hold on. I got to put it back together. All right, my lovely Luz, we've got another wonderful time scheduled for you. It's going to be late tonight for me. It'll be about midnight. I will get my shower done. I will get my PJs on, bring my blanket, my favorite drink. And that's midnight US CDT, Central Daylight Savings Time. Who knows what time it is for you, but if you are free and awake and alert and want to come in and chat with us, I will be live again tonight. Hopefully we don't have a windstorm that knocks me out, but I appreciate all of you that checked on me. That was so heartwarming. I had no way to even phone friends. You know what it does to your mind when you so I had bars showing we had signal, it was the little, signal was out, but the bars had an X over them. And everybody's phone said emergency call only. And I'm like, I can't even call a friend or email a mod to tell them I ain't coming back. I have no way to communicate with another soul. Then I thought to myself, man, how long is this going to be where we don't have any way to, okay, so the banks aren't going to work because everything's out. Stores aren't going to work. I'm like, what if it never comes back on? What if it's a sun flare that has, destroyed our satellites? Oh my gosh. Then I fell asleep. And I woke up and the internet was all back and I was like, ha ha ha. Makes you think sometimes how reliant we are on the internet. I love you guys. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Remember, it's all about getting through this journey together. I love you all. I will see you again very, very soon. And that, my lovelies, is a wrap.